I am the owner of Top Writing Services Incorporated, and I wanted to talk to you today about the Hailey Bieber social media backlash and some of the mistakes that she made and you could potentially avoid making in the future with respect to competitors. I'm not saying that in her mind she looks at Selena Gomez as a competitor, and I definitely don't want this video to be kind of like a roasting of Hailey Bieber, but just companies can get into these scuffles all the time with posting at certain times and doing certain things. And companies, fan bases can put two and two together and start putting them against their competitors or social influencers against people that pretty much do the same thing they do. And I just wanted to make sure that none of you go through what Hailey Bieber is going through now. And just a quick recap, as you're probably aware, there was some kind of a Selena Gomez fan base that noticed Hailey Bieber, Justine Skye, and Kendall Jenner. They all did this TikTok video with the sound just around the time that Selena Gomez was kind of getting some, I guess you could say, online feedback that she had gained some weight. And then Kylie Jenner did this video of her eyebrows, FaceTiming Hailey Bieber with her eyebrows right after Selena Gomez came out and did a video about her eyebrows not looking a certain way. And then the whole internet got into it and started putting two and two together. As a result of that, Hailey Bieber, not Halle, but Hailey Bieber has lost tens of thousands and I believe millions of fans on Instagram. It seems like her subscriptions on YouTube have increased. I don't know if that's Selena Gomez fans going on her platform to leave unkind comments or what that's all about, but everybody's eyes are on her and it's impacting her social media following and credibility online. And as a result of all of this, people are making videos that are kind of tying certain things that Selena Gomez would say in interviews to kind of market and build her brand. And then Hailey Bieber later would almost pretty much say the same thing. So people are kind of like creating these kind of videos now. So let's get straight into it. The first thing you want to do is be consistent with your messaging. Some of the things that Hailey Bieber did, well, she could have done better, was she went on that Call Me Daddy, Call You Daddy podcast, and she talked about not having any hate towards Selena, not dating Justin Bieber around the time that Selena was dating him. And she really came across as being neutral, wanting to be, in a good standing right when 2023 was about to arrive. And people were really shocked that she came out with that also right after Selena Gomez's whole announcement of her documentary coming out on Apple Plus. And I think she cleared the air after that. Shortly after that, she was at an event. Selena was at the same event. They did a picture together, and the blogs and vlogs and the media outlets were kind of saying, okay, these two are putting their past aside and moving forward as they should. But then she kind of did this mean girl post with some of her friends. People interpreted it as it being towards Selena Gomez, and it kind of wasn't consistent with her whole thing that she was saying on the call her daddy or call you daddy podcast. It was conflicting and people were really confused. And so be careful about saying one thing and then doing something else, because your audience, your customers, your fans might be able to put two and two together and see whether you are actually being authentic about, I don't know, it could be as little as community involvement or being a religious or spiritual person. You might say something like that, and then somebody can find something else shortly after that, which is the opposite of what you said. So try to be consistent with your messaging. Number two, do a research on your competitors. I'm not Hailey Bieber. I'm not in her circle. I'm not sure if she was trying to shade Selena in any of these social media posts, but if she had a brand strategist or a really good public relations rep, they would be able to kind of look at the time that her and other creators or even Selena, to be specific, what's going on with her and try to avoid kind of posts, because you might put that and Selena's fans might think you're shading her. So when you're about to post something, make sure that you look at your competitors or people that pretty much do the same thing, especially those that have bigger audiences, to ensure that you're not sounding the same or potentially going to put out something that can offend somebody. This is all really brand positioning and being able to stand out so that you can be drama free and you can create content that people appreciate and your audience will love. The other thing that you want to do is avoid posting controversial TikTok videos with controversial sounds, like voices that seem kind of negative, or you just want to avoid controversial topics altogether on social media, because, as I mentioned before, people can take it out of context, people can pin you towards your competitors or influencers or creators or business owners that pretty much do the same thing that you do in your city. So it's really, really important to stay neutral. And I know so many celebrities have said, public figures, shall I say, have said things and done things online over these past 3 years. And with so many eyes watching people during the pandemic and people staying home, it was easy for people to start putting two and two together and really figuring things out from past tweets of public figures, etc. So just avoiding anything that could offend somebody, insult someone, or potentially be taken out of context with your audience or just people in general is most likely the best thing that you can do. Only address issues that are high priority and try to avoid answering every comment, reply on TikTok, addressing every issue that is related to you or maybe your products. Like if there's somebody who um, tries your products and it has an adverse reaction to them, you definitely want to do your best and um, kind of have those conversations about what you can do to help the individual that used the product and had a negative impact from your products. But if it's somebody who's comparing your products to a small, medium sized organization or a big organization's products, and you kind of feel a little offended by that, let people do product reviews. You'd be surprised that somebody doing a product review, whether they like your product or not, can result in, sorry, I have some people looking through my window here, can have people actually wanting to buy your products just by them doing a product review. So I think customer service kind of videos or feedback on the internet or anything that relates to anything embarrassing or anything that has come out about you and your brand, you definitely want to address that as soon as you can. But the little things like people doing critiques about the coloring of your dresses or the textures of your scarves or something like that, these are things that you just don't want to be going back and forth with people. Everybody's going to have an opinion. And if you really like Jordan Woods, check out a previous shorts video here on my YouTube channel where she actually had there was an influencer who bought several of her dresses, tried one on, and she started kind of complaining about the fabric and the material and the appearance of the sleeve. Later for Jordan Woods to literally reply to this content creator's product dress review, and she did it in such a classy way and was completely wrong about her assumptions about threading and stuff like that. So these little things I think you can do if somebody does a product review, it goes viral, but the feedback is 100% inaccurate, then the vision or the stitching of your outfit or something like that you were attempting to do in your product. But if it's just a product review, let it go. People are always going to do these things for their own reasons. Avoid hanging out with people that already have a pre-established negative reputation. In Hailey Bieber's example, oh man, I found it was interesting that after she got married to Justin Bieber, she stopped hanging out with like the Kendall Jenners and the Kylie Jenners, etc. The whole Kardashian family. It seemed like she stepped away from them and she started to get a little bit closer friendship-wise to Justine Skies, who I believe is really neutral. But as far as her hanging out again with Kendall Jenner and then having like um, Kylie Jenner on her YouTube channel, I was a little confused by that. And in that video where the soundbite was, I'm not saying she deserved it, but God has its time, or this is good time, or something like that. She had Kendall Jenner in the video, and her and Justine Skye, they're like best friends. I believe that's what she said on her YouTube channel. So people are expecting that. But to have Kendall Jenner, who also has a mean girl reputation that she consciously or subconsciously has developed over a very, very long time, including numerous clips back to back on YouTube videos of her on Keeping Up with the Kardashians show. Anybody that has a negative reputation in your city, in your industry, in your town, if you want to be friends with that person because you're neutral, or maybe you have a different view of what your audience generally projects on that person, you're more than welcome to hang out with whoever you want in your spare time. But in a particular case where the internet knows somebody for doing something, consistently doing something, whether it's cultural appropriation or being a mean girl or being disrespectful or being raspy or being unkind or not being customer centric, and now you're doing TikTok videos on mean girl sounds or controversial topics, that can really get you in a bad place as far as people picking at you. And kind of Jay-Z has this song on the Blueprint album, and I'm not exactly sure what song it was, but he said, and this is not verbatim, but basically the line goes, never argue with a fool in public, because from far away, people can't tell the difference between who's the fool and who's not the fool. If you're not the fool, but now you're surrounded with a fool. So this is just an example. Just be mindful of who you surround yourself with, especially if you are a social influencer or very popular in your city, because you might have good intentions and be a really good person, give another person in your industry or an entrepreneur that has a bad reputation, and now people from far away are putting you in the same category, and you're totally opposite of this person, right? So just be mindful of that. The other thing you want to do is keep it classy and professional. I know it's really hard to do, but I believe that certain celebrities, such as like Lori Harvey, seems to get it right. Well, yeah, people have an opinion on Lori Harvey's dating history and her dating the rapper Future and all these other kind of dating P. Diddy, and people have opinions about that. But based on what I see, Lori Harvey's social media posts, whether they are on TikTok or Instagram, are pretty neutral. It's just her going out and about, and I don't think I've ever seen anything about her really come out as her being a mean girl or shading somebody. But that's just an example. Keep it classy, keep it professional. Remember that all eyes are watching you, especially if you are well known, and people are always going to try to find something within your content to refer you back to either something that you're consciously or subconsciously doing. And now that we're talking about consciousness and self-awareness, the last thing is do the inner work. I am not in any way saying that Hailey Bieber needs a therapist or she needs to do some healing or spiritual work, but I wonder to myself if she actually has been doing therapy on a daily, on a weekly basis, if she has an interest in doing that. Would these things be happening? Would she go on the Call Her Daddy podcast, several months ago and then do this? And now she's losing tens of millions of followers because people are putting two and two together. Like, as content creators and entrepreneurs or public figures, it really is your responsibility to take care of your mental health and to ensure that you're showing up as the best way that you possibly can. Even if you think you're perfect, there's no way. Even in these past 3 years, a lot of people have dealt with isolation and comparing themselves to others, this Hailey Bieber situation. And a lot of people are taking on a lot. And for myself, I have a mindset coach that I've been working with literally in March. Well, this is March, 2 years I've been working with him. And I can sit here and say for myself that within the first 6 months to 12 months of working with him, my content got better. I was communicating more effectively. I wasn't taking comments on TikTok, for example, personal. I was very conscious about what I was posting. There would be sounds that were controversial, and I asked myself, do I want to jump on this sound here on TikTok and do kind of like a skit? Or could I jump on the sound and could it like offend somebody? Or could it be the opposite of what I believe in? And why would I jump on this trend just because everybody else or most people on the app are doing it? Does it really align with my values and my ethics and how I feel about myself and how I feel about life? And if it doesn't, I don't jump on these kind of voice over trends on TikTok. I just don't participate in things if I know that it could lead up to something negative. And that's what Hailey definitely needs to learn. And doing the inner work really helps you start being conscientious of like the time, like I said before, the timing of your posts, and start asking yourself, okay, I'm in the makeup brand space. I'm going to put on this red lipstick with this sound. Let's check to see if Fenty Beauty is doing that. Let's check to see if, other creators are doing it. So I'm not looking like I'm just jumping on the bandwagon, and I'm actually doing something that's creative and something that's going to make me stand out versus look like my competition. So I really hope that these points really, really help you out. We all make mistakes when these public figures, Hailey Bieber included, are on social media. A lot of the times they either live on social media, checking to see what people are saying about them, or checking to see their competition, other people that are in their age group that kind of do what they do. And they make mistakes. I didn't want to make this video about roasting her. I did a video. Check out my about page here on YouTube and take a look at my TikTok page. I did a video about this whole topic maybe about 4 or 5 days ago, and it went viral. And in no way was I trying to shade her. It was just an opportunity for her, if she actually does see the video, to get like a branding strategist or a PR company or some kind of talent manager that can really help her ensure that in 2023 and beyond, there's no more jumping on trends that could make her look like this, and trying to get away from that negative image that she, again, consciously or subconsciously has built for herself. We as people on social media need to take accountability, maybe not for every mean or trolling comment, but how we come across. There's always areas of improvement. And again, maybe her and her friends did put that video out and it wasn't about Selena Gomez. Maybe they're just trying to jump on a trend. But then the fact that people already kind of come for her a lot in her comments, I don't think it was maybe the best sound for her to use. And hopefully it will be a learning lesson for her. But just to do a quick recap, how to avoid the social media backlash, much like Hailey Bieber has experienced. So be consistent with your messaging. If you take for example, that, let's say you take for example that you are a very spiritual person, and then next thing you know, you have the party video of you chugging on alcohol or, doing some crazy stuff. Now, I'm not saying spiritual people can't drink alcohol. I'm pretty confident there are billions of people on the planet who are super spiritual and they enjoy a little wine or whatever it is, right? But keep in mind that somebody can take that clip of you at your own party drinking alcohol and question your religious statements. They can question whether you are spiritual or not, and whether you take offense to that or not. It's something for you to think about. Do a search on your competitors before posting. And this is not just necessarily for the Hailey Bieber backlash, but it could just be, are you posting something that could potentially be similar to your competitors? Is that really going to help you stand out? Are your competitors using a certain TikTok sound? And do you want to use that same sound? Do you really want to jump on that same TikTok trend and sound and kind of look like your competition? If you are in the same wheelhouse from a retail perspective and you maybe have classy wear and your competition is, I don't know, Banana Republic or something like that, maybe you will just want to take a look at their socials and make sure that you do something the opposite of what they're doing, or if it's going to be kind of consistent because your campaign was going to be like that anyways and you're not copying, just make sure that you stand out with every post so that you're not a photocopy of something else, right? Avoid jumping on controversial TikTok sounds. I think we mentioned that. Avoid controversial topics that could get you in trouble with certain groups of people and potentially not just lose followers, but lose credibility and everything that you've built up until that point. Only address issues that are high priority on social media. If it's something small like somebody leaves a trolling comment, ask yourself, do you really need to reply to that? Do you need to do a video reply on TikTok, for example? Is that really going to help you? But if somebody does a product review or a service review and then they kind of taint the jaded mission statement or the goal of that product, now you might have an opportunity to defend your brand image if you want to, much like the Jordan Woods. Check out that video on my TikTok shorts, or join me on TikTok and you'll see the video there too. Avoid hanging out with people who have tarnished their reputations. It could be somebody who's known for maybe lack of customer service. Maybe they're unkind when they're out in public, or they have a mean girl or a mean guy image. I know sometimes, people want to give people a chance, and they want to hang out with people who are the opposite of them to kind of get that edge or get more followers. But out of desperation or a lack mindset, it's not necessary for you to switch up your brand by being around people who don't have the same ethics and morals or are generally not good people. That could ruin you. And I know you might be a very compassionate person and you see something different in them than what other people think, but put yourself first, right? Especially everything that you've built. And keep it classy and professional. And most importantly, if you feel that you are in a place in life where you are watching your competitors, you're watching people who do the same thing on social media or in your business as you, and you're spending more time focusing on people, places, and things that are outside of you, then you're focusing on building your brand, building your reputation, improving your products, improving your services. You might want to start asking yourself, is your mental health in a good place? Now, like I said before, there's nothing wrong with doing a scan of your competitors, but if you're living on their pages, you're opening social media accounts and following them, and as these videos are showing with Hailey Bieber saying pretty much the same thing to promote herself that Selena Gomez, like, you don't want to come across as being obsessed about anything or anybody, because people will just question your mental health, right? So if you feel like this pandemic or anything that's happening in your life right now is impacting you to the point where you're going in maybe a further direction than where you need to be, get some therapy, do some healing work, find a mindset coach, a life coach, and get your life together. Because if your bread and butter, how you make money, is creating content online, or you have a product and service and you are the face of your brand, take a step back and maybe hire somebody to be the face of your brand, or ask your business partner to help you out and take some time to heal and take care of yourself so you don't end up in this kind of like domino effect of putting something out there and now you're losing followers, you're losing brand recognition, you might lose everything just from a bad post, and it's not worth it. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on how to avoid a social media backlash. I really hope these tips help. If you are watching this and you're new to my channel, subscribe. I've got more of these YouTube lives coming up every single week. And if you enjoy LinkedIn lives, also check out my About page and follow me on LinkedIn, where I go live there every week as well. If you have any questions or feedback or anything that you wanted to add to this whole conversation, leave a comment below. Thank you so much for your comments, your views, for giving me ideas, for following me on other platforms. Everything that I see in the back end of my analytics is really giving me ideas to share these videos, and I really do appreciate you. And even for the ones that are kind of silent and just watching, thanks so much for checking in. Stay safe, take care. Bye-bye.